The pillars have now begun to hold up the roofing to a possible future fungal forest above the cave. But if a roof is all a forest like this needs, why have the fungal floors not begun to stretch into their new home? The dwarves of the Rack of Torches have made some progress, however. It seems the tall pillars have already begun to attract trade caravans from abroad. With food, drink, and newly created simple trade goods, the dwarves now seek to complete their fungal forest and expand their trading abilities. Hello, and welcome back to our little Dwarf Fortress series. As mentioned in the intro, we have now, if we scroll up here a little bit, begun to build this kind of roofing area above the giant circle that we carved out in the desert, in the hopes that the fungus from the caves that have already spread to our little area here do actually spread over here. There is a chance that the reason it hasn't it hasn't spread here yet is because it just takes time, and that will eventually get done. It could also be that there needs to be a direct underground connection to this area, or, and this is also a possibility, though one that I'm not particularly happy about, the only way that it would spread above ground, like I've seen in a previous fortress, is if the overhanging things, such as a roof like this, is natural, and it won't happen if we build like an artificial one above grass, which is what I always thought was the case. If you build just a roof, it'll happen. It might just not be the case. No matter what, we will figure this out. Unfortunately, if it is the case that fungus isn't going to spread here, let me just quickly check here. Prickleberries, red spinach, dead young saguaro. Okay, so there may be a chance that trees, young saguaro. Oh, those are the cactus, I believe. Okay, so there is a chance that they will spread here, but perhaps not if there is a roof. I'm still holding out hope that fungus will spread here, so we'll try to continue on the roofing. Worst off, we can build a very strange kind of fortress on top of this in the future. We'll see how our plans change if the fungus doesn't spread, but for now let's focus on doing that spread. So our dwarves are currently just bringing blocks up to there. Let's take a look here. Scroll in a little bit. We have 3 different workshops currently making blocks. We have dwarves bringing up these boulders to be turned into blocks, and if we scroll down all the way down to our cavern, a little bit over the cavern actually, we do actually have quite a few boulders ready to be brought up. So I'm not sure if this will be enough siltstone. We have a little save. Let's just give it a moment of pause. And there we go. So what I was saying is that I'm not 100% sure we have enough siltstone for the massive building we have above ground, but we are going to find out soon enough. And worst off, it wouldn't be the end of the world to tell our miners to go ahead and dig up some more siltstone. We seem to have quite a bit underground there. Here we go. So they're going to be building this for a little while, and let's not just stand here and wait for that to happen. So my thought here, I have actually been playing Dwarf Fortress quite a bit on the side and have come to realize that something that I am sorely lacking in my fortress is a manager. The reason for this is that, let's take Volkar here, the expedition leader, as our manager. The reason for this is that a manager allows me to set up work orders, so I can automate some of the things like having food and drinks, and not have to keep, going down to the caverns, where is, here we go, and individually selecting this and saying, oh no, no one's like currently cooking food, or no one's currently brewing any drinks, and like force it myself. I can just tell the manager, you know what, if you go under 100 drinks or 100 food, just make more. So now that we have that manager, let's go back up to the surface. Here we go. We are going to need a actually, I think at this time we should be able to start making work orders. The manager just be unhappy about it, so let's set some up. I say that we're going to let this run in the background, and it pauses the moment I come in here, so not the best, but it's fine. Let's go over to still, and we want to make brew drinks from plant as such. And we want to go over here and tell it that if we have less than 10 drinks, and we are going to change this to 100. So if we have less than 100 drinks, they are going to go ahead and make new drinks. Next, we're going to do the same thing for food in the kitchen. So prepare, let's go with the easy meals for now. If we have less than, once again, 10, and we're going to change this to 100. There we go. Satisfied for next check. Fantastic. So if we have less than 100 of these two things, they should just make more. I haven't played around with the manager like a huge amount, so hopefully that is set up and I don't have to check it again, but we may have to come back to it in a little while. We'll have to see about that. All right, the next thing, if you look at the manager, you can see that our manager now requires a study, a meager study. A very simple study is all our manager needs. So I'm thinking maybe as we have this giant thing, and there is always also the chance that like what we're doing here is completely useless because the fungus will not grow. Let's start building up. Our dwarf fortress will be on top of this, or at least the administrative part of it that we're currently working on. So let's go ahead and make maybe a circular kind of area. Oh, I have to make sure that I have keep building after placement set to true, and we're going to go ahead and just add in some siltstone blocks here, and here. It was asking for a meager one. I'm going to make a relatively large one just because I think our manager, needs a nice place to work and sleep. Here we go. And we are going to make a little line here and another one over here and one last one over here. Let's do something like this. Here we go. Do they have access? Yes, they have access on all sides, so it shouldn't be a problem to just completely encircle this here as such. And do we have a door for this dwarf? Here we go. We do not. So let's go down here once more. And is there any wood? I don't see any wood, so we're going to queue up a stone door, the opposite of what I'm attempting to say. Here we go. And eventually we'll be able to add in a door here. We're going to need a table and a chair for the study area, and we are also going to need a bed, a cabinet, and a chest for the other area. So let's do that. Let's go back down here, and we're going to queue up a few different things. Actually, you know what? Because we have the work orders, what we might be able to do is just go over here and go over to the stonemason, which I am not currently seeing. Stonework, here we go. And we're going to have him make some nice a bookcase. And we're also going to have them make a cabinet and a coffer. And we're not going to set it up to keep making them. We only want this done once. Here we go, the coffer. We already have the door set up. And this will make it so that like any one of these stonemason dwarves will be able to come ahead and make these things. So any one of the three, and I don't have to individually set an area to get this done. That should be good. Here we go. Or at least that's the plan. Here we go. Door is being made. And we'll have to see. Maybe it should tell me over here if it gets done. So we'll find out soon enough. Okay, so our dwarves are continuing over here. How about we have a nice little staircase up just on the side here, so that if we down the line want to add in a new floor, we can do that. So let's just add one right here. Siltstone as well. Let's put one on each side. Here we go. And our dwarves are going to continue here. Just at whatever speed they need. Let's see. Cancels drinks. Cannot reach site. Okay, one of these cannot be reached. Here we go. Now it should be reached. And these guys are now building this. So we should also, while we're here, just go ahead and queue up some more stone floors for our dwarves right up here. As such, so we'll have a little roofing area for this manager's study. And let us also put in our new door that we've just created. Let's check on the other things that we asked our manager to make. I'm not 100% sure that this will be done. So I believe the first one about that was a bookcase. So let's just place, and yeah, we don't have access to it. So there is a chance that we do actually have to do this until our manager has a study. So let's just set up a bookcase, set up a cabinet, set up a coffer, and we'll select this new one over here and go for the table and the throne as well. Okay, and we need a bed. Hopefully we have wood. We may not. That may be a problem. And also we're going to take all these minor dwarves off just mining constantly. There we go. It looks like we do have some wood for a bed. Yes, we had bought some last time. Let's go back up here, and now we should start having what we were asking for over here. So let's put the bed right up here. There we go. We're going to also put down the cabinet right over here, and we're going to also build the chest right there. Oh, the chest isn't ready. Okay, that's fine. We're going to also build a table right here and a chair. The chair is going to be here. The chair is not ready yet. That's fine. Let's have the bookcase right over here. Chert. I don't think you actually need a bookcase, but I like giving my dwarves some extra stuff. Probably pointless stuff, but it's fine. There we go. And we're also going to add in this chest right over here. So we have our nice area for our manager. Perfect. We're also going to continue these this roofing right over here. As we do that, yeah, it's going to require more and more stone, and that is absolutely fine. Let me just check that this is well placed. Yeah, it ends here. Okay, perfect. And do we have enough stone for this? We do not. We do not have enough stone for that. Okay, so we're going to have to wait there. And let's wait for these dwarves to place these things down. Here we go. And let's queue up a zone. I'm going to pause it just because I'm getting distracted by the dwarves kind of milling about there. So let's have the bedroom right here. We can increase this size just a bit. Accept, and we are going to set it to our expedition leader. This is her bedroom, and this is going to be the manager's bedroom. And then we are going to just go ahead and select an office for our manager. The rest of this area will be office space. Here we go. Accept, and we are going to once again select our expedition leader, and we're going to call this manager's office. Here we go. Perfect. So now that we play things, if we go to see our dwarf, nobility, yes, she now has a a study to be able to work in the office that we set up. Needs meager study. We have that. We have a modest study apparently. We have modest quarters, which she doesn't actually apparently need, but that's fine. And if we go over here, can you use any shop? Oh, I'm asking her to build 10 of these. You know what? I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that. So we can have more things getting made, potentially. We'll have to see. Okay, so I say that I don't actually see this set up or anything else. All right. Let's not worry about that. Just like the fungus that is clearly not spreading here. Let's just not worry about that for now. All right. What I could do in hopes to make this fungus spread is set up more flooring over here. However, maybe not have it spread onto here. Let's just do this and go over to siltstone once more. Here we go. And what we're also going to attempt to do is I'm going to just make a pillar here. Oops, I was in the air here. Let's just make a pillar right there. Siltstone. Make another one right there. Siltstone. Now let's wait because we need more blocks. Alright, let's take a look back at the top, see how things are moving along. And they're moving along quite well. We have most of this area completely added on. We have quite a bit of this area added on. And they should be spreading over here quite soon. We have our manager who's sleeping. Expedition leader, prepare easy meal, need unrotted, cookable solid item. Okay, sure. Fantastic. Let's take another look at this menu. I'm fairly certain. Oh, I was going to say I'm fairly certain I did this incorrectly, but perhaps not, because it looks like, yeah, these work orders are active. So they should be making stuff. I've also noticed that this is 10 out of 10 drinks. So set the condition for work order activation. This can involve needed materials, the current stock of products, or the completion of other work. Okay. And what's this? Set the maximum number of workshops that can be used. Oh, number of workshops. Oh, okay. I thought that was a number of things to make. Interesting. Prepare easy. All right. Sure. Well, let's find out if we're doing that right. We might not be. Let's go back down here. So they are building these little pillars, and we are going to make just a little 2x2 path all the way down here and see if it even spreads outside of this cave area, or we may have to change plans quite a bit. So here and all the way over here, do we have enough? Let's make it out of chert for now. We have a lot of chert. Here we go. And we're going to see, yeah, if they actually spread out of here. If we can't, I'm a little sad. That kind of messes up my plans quite a bit, but we'll make do. The main focus, we have to remember, is to make a safe spot for merchants to come to that they would be able to see from a distance. So if this doesn't work and we can't actually spread the fungus over here, our plan is going to become to just make something that will be visible from a distance, that will be quite impressive for the merchants to come to, and we can use this roofing as headcanon for this is a cooler area in the desert, even if there actually isn't that mechanic in the game. Alright, so they've started adding blocks over there. Alright, and we could also just have these two slopes removed. We don't really need them. Okay. And we now have stuff all the way over here, and I don't see the fungus growing. Not that they would be growing quickly, come to think of it. I'm just preparing myself to be disappointed that we can't actually grow fungus outside of a cave, so it would have to be natural roofing for this to work at all, which would be a pain. It's just mostly a pain, but not the end of the world. Okay, so our dwarves are going quite well right now. Our expedition leader keeps giving us errors, but that's fine. And we still have the same amount of food and drink. So one would hope things are going quite well on that front. And I've just noticed, actually, we don't have a single angry dwarf yet. So the dwarves are quite content with their rather simple lives here, with living in a dormitory and having this over here. But I think they would eventually want to have homes of their own. So we will hopefully get to that point in the future. So let's put this out here. And we need siltstone. That's right. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Yes, that would be why the siltstone is taking longer. So on the upside, we do have quite a bit of, furniture getting created. On the downside, it is slowing down our siltstone production. So we're going to just get rid of these for now. Our main 6 out of 10. I'm a little worried about this. I'm seeing this number go down. I'm starting to worry, like, what happens when it hits 0? Does it just stop working altogether? I'm sure we'll see. That's fine though. Here we go. So that is a little worrisome. Okay, let's zoom in here for a moment. So there used to be a slope here. It was removed. And if I remember correctly, when you remove a slope, usually it turns to the base thing. So it would be red sand. However, in this location here, we can clearly see sparse needle grass. The worry about that is that would mean that this has turned to sparse needle grass, despite the fact that it has a roof over. So it is giving some credence to the idea that this dense fungal floor fungus only spreads where there is natural roofing above it. That's a pain. I was hoping that I would be able to spread out the fungus, and it looks like this is why we're not seeing any fungus grow out here. It's because it isn't a natural roof. Okay, let's take a look down. So if you go from here to here, it's another level of sand. If you go down again, it's another level of sand. If you go down again, now we hit conglomerate and smooth. So it is an aquifer. So what I'm thinking is this will be interesting as a landmark for merchants to see from a distance. However, I just realized, are we building anything from crafts? We are not. We may need to start making crafts. Let's actually queue that up. We'll make some rock amulets and just keep that going for now. If we want a fungal forest near the top of this world, what we could do is just go over in this area here, right? And dig down 1-2 layers, including this layer right here, or excluding, I guess, and that would make it natural roofing, and that should allow us for a fungal forest. I'm not 100% on that, as I wasn't 100% on this, but I think it's worth digging into, mostly as we have like 4 miners right now. So let us just do a little thing like this. Dig this out to about here. As such, we're going to tell our miners, you're mining. You're doing that 100% of the time. And we're going to dig out 1, 2. There's a large area. Okay, I wanted to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 16 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in that direction. We'll do the same on the other sides. Here we go. I believe I counted that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I was fine. And once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. As such. And we're going to just pull this out. And we already have fungal floor spreading here. So yeah, you do apparently actually require natural roofing over your area for the fungal floors to spread. That's unfortunate, but it's not world ending. There we go. And we're going to go down another 3 in this direction, another 3 in this direction, maybe 3 twice, or let's see, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. That's a pretty good circle. Okay. And once again, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, and 3 dots. 3, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 2, and once again over here, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. I have a kitten behind the door right now who seems to be getting hungry, so this may be a good cue for me to call this session, but we are going to finish digging this out before we do that, just so that we have the ability to say that we have indeed managed to create ourselves a space for a fungal forest, even if our initial idea of the giant pillar roof area hasn't worked out quite how we wanted. So let's just continue digging for now. Here we go. And here we go. I'm not 100% sure if the mic is catching her mewing from outside the door. Yes, Ada. Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming, girl. We're just gonna finish up here, and we have a save. So let's wait for the save to be over. There we go. And it is now early spring. Oh, it is now officially year 2. So, well, 51, but the second year of our dwarves being here. That's exciting. Here we go. So our dwarves are digging down once more. We are going to attempt to, here we go, queue up digging down here as such. So the issue with just leaving this fungal floor as it is currently is that there isn't quite enough room for actual fungal trees to grow, which was the main intention. So we're going to bring this up, or at least bring this down one more floor for certain, and I'm thinking possibly 2 more. This is under the same amount of dirt, I would think, so it seems to say that we should have another layer before we hit stone and aquifer. So my hope is that we would be able to bring this down once more. We're actually going to give this a little ramp here as such, so that we have a nice ramp slope down into this area here. And we have our 4 dwarves digging that out. While they're doing that, let's take a look back up here. So are we actually done with everything here? Yes, we are. All right, we will queue up some more floors as such. Here we go. And also over here. Here we go. Yeah, perfect. And we will go back down to our underground. and make sure we're not paused. There we are. So I'm going to continue digging out this nice little cavern. And I'm a little worried that we might actually be hitting stone after this. So over here, over there, let's just dig down one here really quickly. Are we hitting stone? Oh, we are hitting stone. Okay, so 2 might be big enough for our needs. Oh, I'm a little uncertain. Oh, actually, damp, rough-hewn conglomerate wall. That would mean, let's dig this out here to about this level. That would mean that that's an aquifer. We've already hit aquifer level here. So my worries were valid. We are actually digging into an aquifer, but that's not the end of the world, because if we dig this out, it'll mean that it'll fill itself up with water, and we can have a nice interior pond here. Okay, so oh, look at this. Pigtails have already started growing here. And what's this petition? Eradicating monsters. Fantastic. We have a new monster slayer to go down into the caverns below. All right. And yes, the water is now flooding in here. So we will have a nice little lake here, I'm thinking, or hoping, really. The dwarves should be coming to pick up these conglomerates soon, and we will no longer need the slope on the walls, I think. So once they're done here, we're going to queue that up, and then we're going to probably call it here for today. Okay, yeah, there's no question about it. Have you seen the speed at which our fungus floor is spreading here? I think it is safe to say that it was not spreading above ground at all. So the lesson we have to take from this is, yeah, we do actually need natural ceiling above our area if we want fungus to grow there, which is unfortunate. I would say, but we do now have an area where at least 2 high, I think that might be tall enough for mushrooms, mushroom root to grow. If not, well, at least we do have access to giant cacti looking things. All right, and if we go back up here, we should be, yeah, coming to the end of our expansion of this. So this isn't important. This isn't important from like a get some fungus kind of standpoint, but it is really impressive, I'm sure, to see this from a distance. It goes up to 46 elevation. So I would expect that dwarves and humans alike that come to this desert would be able to see our spiraling siltstone block creation with the manager thing at the very top here from quite a distance. So that would mean that, and I realize I might be stretching. Oh, young tower cap. We actually have tower caps. The question we have left is, will it grow under just 2 blocks high? I'm not 100% sure, but it might, and that's really exciting. So what I was saying is, we do now have technically an underground fungal area that's right at the surface that is growing. We do have confirmation of this. It's growing quite a bit. The fungus is like growing all the way over here. That's pretty cool. We do also have a very tall area here. As we can see, it isn't, I wouldn't say it's complete, but I'm sure it's definitely impressive to behold from a distance. Oh, so much so that we have all these humans and such coming. There's another one right there. See, another monster hunter has been attracted to our fortress. So we are attracting quite a bit of new people. Another petition. Here we go. Absolutely. Go ahead. Go into the caverns below. We have the baseline of stone production that we need 4 more construction here. That's going quite well. We've already traded, and so if we center on the fort here, we have accomplished all our goals. Not exactly how we intended, but we have accomplished our goals. We now have a successful trading hub right in the desert between the human lands over here, the hamlets, and the dwarven lands over here, easing the travel for any passengers, any travelers is the word I was looking for, across the desert. And we have an ability to actually trade. We have shown ourselves to be able to trade. We have quite a few stone and quite a few, brilliant tiger eyes that we could potentially make into gem windows if we really wanted to. So I'm going to consider this, as messy as it is, a success. So contrarily to our soap makers attempts, yeah, I think we have a good base here. It's not perfect, it's not even good per se, but we do have a base here, and that is where we're going to leave this fortress for now. We may come back later. I don't think so. But thank you for joining me, and thank you for joining the dwarves of the Rack of Torches on their little attempt to make a trading hub. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.